Hey guys, and welcome to the Band Rants channel, your home for NFL projections, predictions, and of course, your periodic rant. And as the name suggests, it's time for a prediction. This is the first of 32 way too early predictions. In honor of the schedule coming out next week, we're going to be releasing pre-schedule release predictions, and my first team is the Carolina Panthers. Now, there's been a lot of talk about the Panthers with Sam Darnold joining the team based on the way they drafted. I thought they drafted pretty well. We'll save that for another video. But in the meantime, with the new 17-game schedule, these are all the teams they're going to be facing. As we know, the NFC has 9 road games as opposed to the AFC that has 9 home games. And this is their opponents for home and away. We don't know when they're going to face these teams. All we know is it's going to be at some point this coming season. So because they have more road games, we'll start with the home games and see how they do. So versus New Orleans, I expect this game to be a little bit tough for them to win. However, we know that upset victories can happen. We know it can happen. And more importantly, we are aware that upset victories happen, right? So for this first game at home, it all depends on when it is, but this is way too early. I'm going to go ahead and actually give the Panthers their first victory right here. Versus Atlanta, I also expect a victory. Against Tampa, though, I don't expect them to win this game because Tampa Bay just has too good of a team. And Tampa Bay's defense might give Carolina some problems, but that could change. But for right now, I'm going to put it as a loss. At home against New England. Now, Carolina's done pretty good against New England, actually, the last couple of times they faced them. Actually, I believe they've been a perfect 3 wins in a row against New England. After their Super Bowl, they've been doing pretty well against them for the last little while. But that was before Goatman went over to Tampa, and you could see Cam Newton starting right now, and that would be pretty cool to see Cam Newton back in his old stomping grounds in Carolina. But New England, a lot has changed. I think that Cam Newton's going to have an axe to grind. All in all, I think the Patriots take this one, and this is going to be a loss for Carolina. At home against the Jets, this is a team that's on the rebuild. We know it. We've seen it. And I think that this is going to be basically an easy win for Carolina here. I mean, if you don't beat the Jets, especially if Sam Darnold is going to be the starter in Carolina, he's going to have an even bigger axe to grind than Cam Newton does in Carolina. I think he's going to have a bigger axe to grind against his former team, the Jets. Wants to show them what they missed out on. Philadelphia, another team on the rebuild. I wouldn't underestimate Philadelphia because it depends on how the new coach gels. But right now, I think the offense of Carolina might just be too much for them to overcome, especially in Carolina. I'll give them a win here. Washington, I know it's the old logo, but I didn't really want to use the new one. This one's going to be interesting. You've got a good defensive line. You've got a good offense in Carolina. And then, of course, not really much of an offense in Washington and a decent defense in Carolina. But it all depends on how they gel. I'm going to go ahead and give Carolina the upset win here. I think at home does do them a lot of favors. Minnesota, however, that game, I think that they're going to have some problems. I think they're probably going to take a loss to the Vikings. That also could change, but I am expecting the Vikings to have a really good bounce back season. And then at Houston, which is going to kick us off for our road games, I think the Panthers should be able to take a win there. I know Deshaun Watson can do a lot of damage, but I also believe that Carolina might just have too much on offense for Houston's lack of defense to hang on to. And now we're looking at the road schedule, and if you're keeping score right now, based on all of that, the Panthers would be a whopping 6-3, which isn't too bad if you think about it. But we haven't even gotten to the road games, and this is where a lot more of the trickier part of the schedule comes in. Because we know that bad things do happen in the Superdome. We know bad things happen in Tampa. And I think they would be able to get the sweep over Atlanta, but that also could change. I just don't see them going 0-3 on the road against the division, but that could change. At the Dolphins, Miami's really improved a lot. And as such, I'm going to give the Dolphins the benefit of the doubt here and give them the win. Buffalo, bad things happen there. We know that. So that's going to be a loss for the Panthers as well, which is really not aging very well right now. They've got a whopping 2-4 on the road. And their last 3 games, Arizona, I don't think that's going to do them any favors either. The Giants and Dallas, I could see them probably splitting the two. I could see them potentially beating the I see them beating the Giants, but then probably losing in Jerry World because it's not exactly easy to win over there. And that is how I see it being right now. And if you're adding all this up, that means the Panthers would go 8 wins and 9 losses, which for a bounce back season is not unreasonable. And again, this can change, but this is just what I have them doing early on before the schedule gets released, before injuries, before we see who's going to face who, when, and where, at what point. But this is the way too early schedule for Carolina, and if you like what you saw, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, leave a like on the video, and I'll see you in the next one.